Hey, what is going on, everybody? What a crazy damn morning. Anybody else feel like they're running around like a chicken with their head cut off? I really feel like I'm one of those damn clowns with all the spinning plates in the air, trying to keep one of them all up and none following. But goodness gracious, it's been a fast-paced morning. So, Eli, how the hell are you, sir?
I am doing good. Not quite that crazy, but I'm also, our SEN chapter is going on right now, and Colin took over as our vice president today. So he got to run the show himself without me for his very first time, which is going to be quite entertaining.
Oh, that's fun. I hope they record it so we can heckle him later.
Nah, he'll do an awesome job. He's a good guy.
Nice, nice. So, guys, each week as we head up to the summit, I am recording videos with past attendees, past sponsors, past speakers, even, and just talking about the cool things that happened at the Badass Business Summit. Eli's attended the last couple years, I think. You've attended 3 years. You've attended this. Yep. Awesome. Awesome. Well, do me a favor real quick. Tell everybody who the hell you are, and then we'll dive right into the questions.
So, Ely Delaney, email marketing strategist. I'm also the president of the Metroplex Business Influencers chapter. Met Donnie, she's 3.5 years ago, and was talking to him. He got me to join a silly cult, and ever since then I've hung around and eventually took over a chapter.
I think you were a little bit voluntold into a chapter, but either way, we got you here.
Something like that, yeah.
Nice. So when you think about the Badass Business Summit, what role has networking played in your experience?
Oh, it's critical. I mean, for me personally, it says right above my head, meet cool people. That's what I'm all about. I love getting out there, meeting new people. I like to meet cool people, get to know them. And that is my number one reason for going to the summit. I want to go there. I want to connect with people. As a SEN member, it's great because I have great relationships with people that I've never met before. And it's an opportunity for me to actually meet in person. We get hugs, we have lunch, all the fun stuff like that. And then just even people that we get to see on a regular basis. We're usually in and out so fast. This is a way for us to actually spend, 3 days together and really get to know each other on a deeper level.
Is that what you think makes this event different than most events you attend?
Absolutely. It's for me, any event I attend is always about the people, but this one, it's like the family reunion you want to go to. and that's how I really look at it.
I got some family I never want to see again.
Yeah. I mean, I look forward to it. There's people that are literally all over the country and outside that I know, they're talking about coming in. I'm like, awesome. We're going to have lunch on Friday. That we're already planning on what we're going to do. And I've got people that are coming in that we're actually talking about taking them out to check out Fort Worth and all the kind of fun stuff that there is in the DFW area. And we're just going to get to spend time together and really get to know each other on a deeper level, on a personal level, because we're most of us see each other in the business capacity. We don't talk enough about the personal side as well. And it gives us that opportunity to kind of just let our hair down and just be people for a few days, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah. And, Fort Worth's fun as is, but it's even more fun when you got somebody out of town. You can kind of go take them to places you otherwise wouldn't go, like the stockyards and stuff. Like we know the stockyards who lives here. So
right. I know. Yeah. Everybody freaks out the first time they see the cows. Yeah. I mean, it's hilarious.
It really is. Do you remember any conversation that was exceptional or had an afterlife after Babs, led to something cool, anything along those lines?
For me personally, I honestly I don't know that I could pull out any specific one because there's been so many in different arenas. Talking to Jerry, there's just this last year, literally in a 45 to 60-second conversation with him. He gave me some stuff that's like, okay, you need to back up a little bit and focus on this. And
that guy's a freaking wizard when it comes.
Oh, he is, of course, yeah. And every time you talk to him, it's always entertaining. Last year was a lot of fun with the. I don't even remember which part I was going to think about. Oh, it was the year before, actually, with the podcast stuff when we were doing that. And I was actually one of the podcast hosts that was doing live sessions there. And we got to really get into even deeper people that, again, I see them on a regular basis over Zoom, but I got to bring some of them in and do some amazing interviews for the podcast, which were a lot of fun. And, there's just so much opportunity to get to know each other in how can we collaborate. And that's one of the things that I have the most fun with is like, okay, I do this, you do that. And on a regular day-to-day basis, we're thinking about these things, but it's in very short spurts. But if you're sitting at a table with somebody and you're like, well, I do this and you do that, and like, oh, wait a minute, we could think about this. And then they talk about how you can collaborate on some stuff. And I've seen a lot of that happen. I mean, we know some of our members who've literally started businesses together now. And that's one of the things that I always find just fascinating when we have people that do that. They think differently. And a lot of those relationships start because you sit down in person, because Zoom is a great tool to be able to talk to people across the globe, but it's literally like 30% as good as being next to them, getting to shake their hand and actually brainstorm together. The energy is very different. And when you can have that energy in a room, all kinds of magic happens.
Yeah. Tell me more about that energy. What is it? That's just you've never been.
Okay. So the energy is, for me, there's a very, very different energy to being with somebody than over Zoom. Like, you and I talking right now, we're doing this virtually. And we can banter, we can have fun, we can talk, and we can say all the words. But when you and I talk one-on-one in person, over a drink, it's a much more intimate conversation, and we'll say things that we wouldn't necessarily say over Zoom. Our guard is down. We're much more conversational, much more relaxed. And that ends up creating this energy that it builds a bond. And I think that's not one of the things that's the most important thing, is the bond with it. You get to actually bond with people that are like-minded. And this is another one of the reasons why going to events is so powerful. And Babs is a great example of this, is you get to get in a room with a whole bunch of people that are going through all the same crap you are, good, bad, and ugly. And so they're there to support you on the wins, and they're there to, give you a hug when you're having a bad day. And that's the energy we're talking about. When you can do that, and you can be in that room and you can talk to somebody and you can find out that they're going through the same stuff you are. Because a lot of us that do attend Babs are entrepreneurs. And for anybody who is an entrepreneur, it ain't freaking easy. I remember the day when people are like, it must be so awesome being able to work for yourself. You get to work whatever hours you want. And I'm like, yep, I got to pick whichever 12 hours a day I pick. Yeah. And when you can be around those people that get you, because sometimes your friends, your family, and other people that you hang out with may not understand what it's like to be an entrepreneur or what it's like to be independent. We have people that come in that are still technically work for somebody else, but they're kind of their own boss on an internal standpoint. And to be around people that are high achievers and want to not only grow and do better things for themselves, but they want to support you. Like, that's one thing I love about SCN as a whole, is we are here to support each other. And that's one of the reasons why I've stuck around as long as I have, is because I haven't found that kind of family anyplace else. And I use that term very strongly. I call SCN my second family.
Yeah, that's probably two of my favorite things that I love to hear from people. One is, I wasn't thinking I should come. I wouldn't think my business was in a place to be, or whatever, like some excuse.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll tell me right in that, they're like, on the third day, they're like, I can't believe I've thought about not attending.
Right.
Right. And then the second thing that I love is, they're like, I've never been in a room where you walk in and everybody wants to help you.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's trying to give you advice. And talk a little bit about that, in that environment of how everybody is literally helping everybody.
Yeah, that is one of the things that I think is so powerful, because you can go into a lot of rooms and you won't see that. Mm-hmm. You'll see people that are there, they're watching the speakers and they're taking lots of notes, and they might be great speakers doing a bunch of stuff, but it's about that. It's about the presentation and finding a room where we are collaborating together. We are talking about each other's businesses and about, who we're serving and how we're helping other people. And other people are there to say, okay, have you tried this yet? Or, you know what, I ran into the problem. Here's how I got over that. And you won't find a stronger group for that. Like, if you've ever been to a mastermind group, a true strong mastermind group, which is usually 10 to 15 people, a good one, that's what they do. Yeah. But number one, you got to find a good one. And two, 99% of the time, you're not going to find that in a big room. You're going to find that in a tight knit, small group mastermind. Babs, you're going to find that in that big room.
Yeah. When you think about attending something like Babs, we know we get a lot of SEN members, right? But we also get a lot of non-SEN members too at the events.
Yeah.
When you think about approaching Babs from a networking standpoint, like you're going to, show up and you want to meet as many people, what is your kind of game plan for networking at Babs?
First and foremost, I just want to hear what people are doing. I want to know about them because, again, I go back to the fact that we are all there to help each other. So if I can find out more about you, that gives me a better position to be able to figure out how I can help you. And the cool thing about it is because there's so many SEN members there, you're going to get introduced to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Like whatever you're doing and you're like, this is what I do and this is who I help. And you know what? I know who you need to talk to. And they're going to walk you right over to them and introduce you to them. That's what I always look for. And if I'm part of anything, like we have, I know you have a circle group and all that kind of stuff. If you're in there, it's like, go in there and look who's going to be there and see what are they saying and what do they do. Get to know these people, do a little bit of research before you walk in the door, because then you can walk in the door and go, you know what? Hey, Joe, I saw you online. I've been wanting to meet you.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden if you say that, they're like, okay, tell me more. It's like, business is the only place you can have a cyber stalker and people don't mind,
That's true. That's true.
And so when you can do that, do a little bit of research ahead of time, but walk in. Your plan is to get to know people and be prepared to offer connections if you have them. And if you don't, that's okay. It's not a pressure of like, hey, I gave you 10 connections. Why haven't you given me any? But it's a matter of be prepared to help however you can. And if you do that, you will get a ton more out of the event. The other part of the game plan, don't skip out. Don't half-ass it. Okay. Show up, be there, be consistent, rebook your calls. If you have calls scheduled for those 3 days, go reschedule them now, because the more that you step out, the more you're missing out, and you never know what's going to happen when. And the more you're gone, you're not present, you're not going to get advantage of that time. And any event, I don't care which event it is, but I know personally from Babs, I've seen some people that are like, okay, well, I need to go back to the room and take care of a few things and blah, blah, blah. And then they've missed, 2 or 3 hours. And it's like, okay, you just flew across the country and you missed out on some great stuff. Why? Like for me, my calendar is locked out. Nobody's talking to me for those 3 days.
Yep.
And that's a big one. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine.
Well, take me back. You said the word miss is what made me the question I want to ask you. What do people miss by not attending Babs?
Because by not attending Babs, most importantly, that it goes back to the energy and that face-to-face connection. We are a group of people who really are here to build relationships. And if you don't attend Babs as an SEN member, if you don't attend, you're just silly. Plain and simple, because you got so much opportunity to really strengthen those relationships you have. But as a non-member, somebody who hasn't even been into the culture yet, you're missing out on obviously the show up. There's great exercises. We go through a lot of stuff to help us grow our businesses. There's speakers that teach all kinds of different stuff. That stuff is all great, but you're going to miss the opportunity. You might have that one thing that you need that you miss at that particular time, obviously. But the second thing is, the more that you don't show up, the more you're not getting in front of people who possibly have the person you've been trying to get a hold of in their quiver, and that's a big one for me, is like walk in the door just ready to talk. And even as an introvert, I'm an introvert. I burn out just like everybody else does. But put the energy in, show up, be there. When you show up, it will be a very, very different experience. And I can say the very first time that I went to Babs, I was only able to attend for 1 day. And I showed up and I got a client out of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, huh, all right. Maybe I should stick around this silly group for a little while. And again, 3.5 years later, I'm still here. So you might get a client. You may not get a client, but you'll definitely get some great conversations that can lead to clients. Absolutely. But
talk a little bit about that personal impact on your business.
The personal impact for me, to be perfectly honest, is more on the personal level, honestly. For the business, it's been great. I've gotten some amazing clients out of SCN as a whole, the relationships that I built from it. But when I went to the first Babs, I had just moved to DFW and I was restarting my life, both on the personal and the business.
I remember that.
Yeah. I was not in a good shape in any way, shape, or form at that point. And I'd literally lost everything and been starting over. And I had no community here. And it was a client of mine, Lori out of Atlanta, had introduced me to you. We got connected from that. And then when it comes to Babs, I showed up and I was like, I was nervous. I didn't even really want to go. I was still in that point where I was kind of in my shell and didn't want to come back out. And you got me to do it anyway. And I did. And I was like, I forgot how much I love coming to things like this. I made some great connections, just the cool people that I just got to talk to. And they helped me get back out and bring that confidence back out that I didn't have at that point. Now you fast forward to 3 years. I mean, I'm a totally different person than I was back then. Yeah.
Agreed.
It's really scary. So we go back. I have some pictures where I have a picture from that first event and a picture from, it was I think it was this last year. And you look at the two side by side and I'm like, holy crap, that's
two different people.
Yeah. And they were both from the event. So it was a really big thing. And that was the catalyst that really helped me, number one, get that confidence back after that time of my life, but also get me some solidification to people that I could connect with that would help connect me to other people and just get me a group of people, a community to be part of here in the DFW area. And again, if you're not in DFW, there's people that are coming in from all over the country and outside, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But you're going to that's the biggest thing with it. You're going to get that community and you're going to have people. For me, that was a critical point for me to get away from sitting by myself. I mean, even these days, I spend like 90% of my time I sit right here behind my desk, monitors, green screen, all the fancy equipment and everything. That's where I spend the vast majority of my time. And it's cool, it's fun, and it's easy because I don't have to go anywhere. But when I go and I actually get to sit down with somebody and have lunch with them and get to know them and talk about what's cool and exciting for me, that energy comes back. And that's where it's not raw energy. You gotta know the difference between the two. It's an energy of excitement and understanding. It's an understanding that they understand you and you understand them. And that they're, like I said earlier, they're going through the same stuff you have been. Some of them have already been through it. So they're going to give you advice on what to do next. Some of it, you've been through that thing before. I've had times, I even had times more recently where I've had people going through some really rough times and I'm able to help them out.
Yep.
And a lot of that stuff doesn't happen virtually.
No,
it can to a certain degree, but it's not the same. When you can sit down and talk to somebody one-on-one, face-to-face, and look them in the eye, that energy is so much better. And for me personally, I can feel the energy of a room, and that I feed off of that.
Yep.
It's draining as well as an introvert, but you feed off of that energy and you realize you're going to learn stuff you didn't even know was possible. You're going to talk to people that are going to give you ideas, and they may not even be talking to you. You might be just listening to a conversation going on and somebody says something that's like, I could do that, or I could take, like, that gives me an idea of how I could take this one nugget. And that's what I always tell people is like, your goal at any event, and Babs is a big one with this, is, number one, always meet as many people as you can. Like in a room like this, meet the people, get to know them. But two, look for one or two nuggets, not 20 things, just one or two things that you can take back with you and implement that next weekend or the next week, whatever, however quickly you're ready. And when you can do that, it's like, okay, this is going to help me move my business forward. And now I've walked away and I've got 30 new connections that are part of my circle that I get to talk to, and I can burn ideas through them. And we can go through and say, okay, maybe we could work together and collaborate on something. And that, when you get that kind of energy, it's amazing. And just as an extra little plug, it's not just going to the event and then going home. I know for a fact, because I see it every year, a whole bunch of people that are non-members show up and they leave being members. So, that's one thing. That's one of the coolest things about Babs in particular, is it gives you an opportunity to get around these people and decide, all right, I like these people. I want them to be in my life. And then you get to continue that, because how many times have you met really cool people at events and then not a whole lot really happens afterwards? We all get busy, life happens. And this is a way that you can take that to the next level and build lifelong friends.
Yeah. I love it. As we wrap this thing up, dude, and brother, I appreciate your words, man. Seriously. Who needs to be in the room? Who should come to Babs?
If you are an entrepreneur, and especially if you're on that newer side, and when I say newer, it could be somebody, you could still be in business for 5, 6, even 10 years, but you feel like you've been playing small and you're looking for expansion of what you're doing and who you're talking to. Definitely. I'm a big one of, if you are a solopreneur, and you're kind of siloed by yourself most of the time. Maybe you got a virtual assistant working for you and that's about it. If you're sitting behind your desk all the time, like I am, this is the place to be, because it gets you out of that spot where you can be around real people, have real conversations. In anybody in the B2B space that fits that criteria, like I said, solopreneurs, small business owners that are really ready to step up their game. You may not want to have, you may make, $100 million, but you still only want to have no more than 3 or 4 people working for you. This is a great place to do it, because most of the people in this room are at that kind of level where they might be very successful, but they're still very small relationship based, not big faceless corporation based, and it's a very different feel, and it's a very special kind of people. And these are the people that I always love being around, because they truly are the ones that are forward thinking. They're scrappy. They're looking at, they can pivot on a dime. Big corporations are slow as hell. And that's the type of group that I like to play around, because these are people that you'll walk into a room and they'll have an idea for something they're doing, and you'll be like, I could take this one little nugget out of that and put it in here. Or you'll say, here's something I'm considering doing. And like 5 people will say, have you tried this? Or I did this and it really helped my business. And everybody wants to do that. And that's, if you like that kind of environment, or you're driving for that kind of environment, this is absolutely the place to be.
That's awesome, dude. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This was exactly what I was looking for. Great conversation with you. Do me a favor and tell them a little bit about Meet Cool People, the Meet Cool People podcast.
Yeah. So the Meet Cool People podcast is a invite only podcast. I always have to start saying that, because I get a ton of people that are like, hey, I should be on your show. I'm cool. Because the fact you said that, no, you're not. But yeah, the whole point behind it is that I love to travel around as a speaker. I used to travel around all the time, and I love speaking, but my favorite part is to meet cool people. And I ended up turning that into a movement. I had a small mastermind group that I did for quite a while, kind of put that on hold for a bit, but the podcast has taken off. We are, as of today, 139 episodes.
Good on you, dude.
Yeah. I do it every single week. Sometimes it's with other people. Sometimes I get lazy and I don't get somebody booked in time, or somebody was supposed to and they rescheduled on me. So there's a few solo episodes in there, but I just interview people that I meet in my journey that I want to continue the conversation with. And I want to share that with the other people. I want to share that ingenious conversation of the cool things they say and how they think about the world. And I want to share that with other people. And so that's where Meet Cool People came from.
Is it all virtual interviews? Or are you working towards getting a studio?
Most of them are all virtual because it's just easier. I do have some of the earlier ones because we did them on location at Babs 2 years ago. So I have, I think, 5 or 6 of those were in on location. Right now, because I have so many guests that are all over the place, I keep it just virtual. But who knows what'll happen down the road. I never say any of it is cut in stone. I do have to say it's really nice to not have to worry about the budget of going to a studio because I do it for fun. It's not like I'm making money off the podcast.
Yeah. Not at this stage. Not at this stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you and I should talk about doing a live podcast somewhere sometime. Cool. Figuring out that'd be fun.
Yeah, we could do that.
So, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Badass Business Summit is September 16th through the 18th here in Dallas, Fort Worth. Get your tickets. Tickets do go up in price on August 1st. There'll be another price increase, and then there'll be one more price increase September 1st. So if you're local to the area and you're seeing this, I'll be hanging out at the happy hour tonight in Alliance for the Business Booster Alliance happy hour. So hope to see you out there. And otherwise, keep kicking ass and taking names. Thanks again, Eli, for hanging out with us. How do people get in touch with you?
Go to connectwithely.com, and Eli is ELY. Connectwithely.com is the easiest way. You can find all my other stuff from there.
Beautiful. Thanks, guys. As always, love you, man. See you. Bye.